You are watching Limited Resources Draft Series on MTGO Academy featuring Marshall Sutcliffe.
Hey guys, Marshall here from Limited Resources doing another draft with you on MTGO Academy. It's Holiday Cube, yay. So we did actually open a piece of Power 9 here, the Time Twister there at the end, but there's also a Jitte in this pack and a bunch of other like decent stuff. Trinket Mage, Signet, there's a Baleful Strix. It's definitely between Time Twister and Jitte for me here. Jitte is more straightforward. Time Twister is a little bit fancier, but can really do some cool stuff. Yeah, let's just take Time Twister. Let's go off the deep end here. Okay, so now we get past a Mox. I don't know how that happens, but I will not argue with it. It's a green one. That doesn't really matter that much. I've seen people, I think, maybe overdo it a little bit in that regard, thinking that, oh, well, I've got a green Mox, so I might be in green. Yeah, just play it. You can be colorless. It can be green. Either way, it's going to be good for you. Obviously, if you dip that way a little, it's better, but actually like Dak Faden out of this pack here. Not a ton going on. Dismember I like. Raphaelos is good. Moloku's a nice finisher in some decks. So is Elspeth. There's some lands. But I think Dak Faden is the best for what it looks like we're going to try to do, which is kind of go deep here. And yeah, Dak's definitely good at that. Jeez. Fourth pick, sort of Light and Shadow. It's not looking like that's the kind of deck that we're drafting, but goodness sakes, that is quite impressive to pick it up this late. That said, I'm not going to take it. We're off that plan. We're going to look at other stuff like Chromox, Heartbeat of Spring, and Orzhov's Signet. These are the type of cards we want. We want mana ramp cards that can help us power out big spells, and when the turn that we do a Time Twister, for example. I'm going to take the Orzhov Signet here. I think that one of those will come back. Probably the Heartbeat. Heartbeat of Spring is a tricky card to play. It's definitely not the type of card that you just play and then just say go. If you've ever been naive enough to do that, which I think I did at one point, yeah, you get blown out. Your opponent gets to untap and have like infinite mana. They just can do whatever they want, and yeah, that's no good at all. This pack has a Strip Mine, a Sylvan Library. I like a Reclamation Save. I like a Parallax Wave a lot, though I don't think we want it for this particular deck. I kind of think I want a Strip Mine or a Sylvan Library for this deck. I'm going to go Strip Mine. I actually like Strip Mine a lot. All right, not a lot going on in this pack. There's an Elf, which can be nice. You know, just get that mana going. Nevinyrral's Disc, not a huge fan. There's a Shadow Mage Infiltrator, which can be quite good. Probably just going to take this Tundra here, though, and kind of keep our options open. I think for me it's between Tundra and Fintorn Elves, and I just think I'd rather just have a land here. Secure Tribe Elder, Lotus Bloom. You know, I haven't really played much with Lotus Bloom, but I kind of want to. I'm going to try it. It's clearly a powerful card, but it is pretty situational. I'm not sure how good it is in the queue, but maybe we'll give it a try. Ooh, here we have Crucible of Worlds to go with our Strip Mine. There's also a Breeding Pool, but I'll take Crucible just in case we end up doing that whole thing. Man, here's that Trinket Mage back. That can grab us, I guess technically this, right? One or less. This is nothing. I think that counts as what I'm looking for anyway, but it can definitely grab us the Mox Emerald too. Mutavault. Let's take a Spell Skite. Got a lot of artifacts, which can be interesting. You know, there's cards like that really care about artifacts like Tolarian Academy. That can make these type of decks kind of busted. Speaking of that. All right, well, we got 2 pieces of Power 9 in our opener, so let's see if we can pick up even more. We had to first pick one. We got past another, though. Might be safe to assume that the person who passed it to us also opened a piece of power themselves, which would explain passing a Mox Emerald. Some people also just don't appreciate them. They just think, whatever. And even further, people just don't want to take them because they're kind of a boring pick, and they are kind of a boring pick. They're exciting cards because it's like, oh my god, it's a Mox, but like at the end of the day, it's like, well, it kind of is a lot like a land. It doesn't, do that much. So, fair enough. All right, what do we have here? Oh, some decent stuff. Time Spiral, Kiora's Follower, Force Spike, Rev probably would be worth it in this deck. Liliana I like a lot. I think I want Time Spiral here. We still don't know what we're trying to find, but we've got a lot of, sort of fast mana spells here that we can use to try to maximize on cards that allow us to draw 7, like Time Twister and Time Spiral. Okay. Ancestral Vision. Now we've got two cards with 0 mana cost. And I don't mean I mean like actual no mana cost. It's kind of funny. Okay, what do we got? Here's a Voltaic Key. There's not much in this pack anyway. I mean, we're hedging a little bit. Like, I like Deceiver, Exarch, or Key. I'm going to take the Key. The Key doesn't actually do anything at the moment. Does it do, like, stone nothing? Basically does nothing. But it does combo well with a bunch of different artifacts. The best one being, that's right, Time Vault. That's the, probably the best 2-card combo in Magic is just Voltaic Key, Time Vault, because it's so easy to set up and it essentially ensures victory. Since we don't have a Time Vault, though, Key's not great. But there are definitely a bunch of spells that reward you for having it. A bunch of artifacts that reward you for having Key. Mainly the mana-producing ones that make 2, 3, 4, 5 mana, whatever it is. But still, that's pretty nice. Mana Leak or Muldrifter is the decision here. God, that's actually kind of tough. And Lion's Eye Diamond as well can be quite good. I'm going to take the Mana Leak here. Here's a Factor Fiction or a Wasteland. I think we should take the Wasteland. I think generally I'd prefer Factor Fiction, Oracle of Moldiah, something like that. But I want the Wasteland because we've already got Crucible, and that gives us Crucible with Wasteland and Strip Mine, which, lets us get to a point where we might be able to actually kind of hammer off on some people and get them just completely shut out of their mana. I'm going to take Gilded Lotus here. Now we have a combo with the Key, so that's kind of nice. Here we could take Winter Orb. We've got a decent amount of artifact mana that we could use to really slow down our opponent. Or we could take something like an Arid Mesa just, for mana fixing. Temple Garden, something like that. Winter Orb's so tricky. Let's take the Arid Mesa for now. Here's some Signets. I like these. I'm going to take one of these Signets over the Mox Diamond, I think. And it looks like we want Izzet Signet. Kiora's Follower, I like that. If we get Time Vault, we're going to be really happy. But unfortunately, we're not quite there yet. Life from the Loam, that's interesting. I could Life from the Loam for Strip Mine and Wasteland as well. We could have both of those engines going. Yeah, whatever, we'll try it. I'll doubt we'll end up running it. We'll probably just stick with Crucible, but maybe. It's a plan. I like Deceiver Exarch. I like the potential in the third pack to try to get a combo going with Deceiver Exarch and Splinter Twin or something like that. right now we are kind of in dire need of finishers. Like our deck doesn't actually do anything yet, so we need like a storm card, like Brain Freeze, or we need to get lucky and get a Time Vault opened or passed to us. I've seen it go later than it should, but I feel like that's starting to be rectified, so probably we have one or two picks to pick up a Time Vault. I mean, the fact is, in the third pack, all right, we got the Lion's Eye Diamond back. That's sweet. In the third pack, it's like, I mean, we've got Kiora's Follower, Voltaic Key. You know, it's like it becomes a lot less important to have the Time Vault for other decks if they can't abuse it. So we have a slightly higher chance of having it passed to us, but still not a great one. All right, well, there's Empty the Warrens. That could absolutely be our win condition. It's not my favorite. It's not even a very good one, but it could work. You know, the idea being that like you put out a bunch of mana and, you know, you play like a Lion's Eye Diamond, and maybe a couple of other spells in a turn, and then you crack the diamond to pitch your hand, and then you put Time Twister on the stack, and with that on the stack, you crack the Lion's Eye Diamond, and then you discard whatever was going to be the rest of your hand anyway, but you don't care because you're getting fresh new 7. You get 3 mana for that. You get your 7 cards, and then you kind of go off from there because now you've got a couple of spells played for the turn and extra mana floating and 7 cards to work with. So then maybe, you know, you can play like a Voltaic Key and then a Signet or something, and then you play Empty the Warrens and you try to go off. So we'll see. Another thing you can do is just set up things like Voltaic Key, Gilded Lotus to just make a ton of mana, you know, so you can, you know, pump that up a couple of times and then play a Time Twister with 6 or 8 mana available after Time Twister goes. You can Time Spiral a little bit later in the game. But again, you need a win condition. And you get to see a bunch of cards usually with this type of deck, but you do need something. And Empty the Warrens is not really the one I want. Wow, Black Lotus. Wow, Blightsteel Colossus, Black Lotus, Grim Monolith. What a ridiculous pack. I'm just going to take Black Lotus, though. I got to be honest, it's not amazing in our deck as far as like ramp. It's just another great spell for, you know, our main plan here. So, all right. Black Lotus. Why not? Thank you. Thank you. Okay, here's Ral Zarek. Another great untapper for like our Gilded Lotus. I wish we could have taken that, and maybe I should have. I actually don't know, but I wish we had a shot at that Grim Monolith because it goes really well in our deck as well. But man, it's Black Lotus. Like I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you don't just take Black Lotus, but like God, we've already got Trinket Mage. Like Trinket Mage Black Lotus is dumb. It just makes for the most absurd turns. And now we have Memory Jar as well. Yep, another draw 7. So now we've got 3 of them, a Time Spiral, a Jar, and a Time Twister. And we're getting a little bit all in on Empty the Warrens, but yeah, sometimes you're all in on Empty the Warrens, I guess. All right, what do we got? Frantic Search and a Signet. Sneak Attack doesn't do anything here. Pair of Swords. Such sick artwork on those swords. God. I think I want Frantic Search. It's just another card to help us go off. All right, well, there's a Basalt Monolith. There's also a Wheel of Fortune. I suppose I'd rather have another big mana maker rather than another draw 7, even if it is a pretty darn good draw 7. So I'll take the Basalt Monolith here. Here's Imperial Seal, which I feel like is something that we kind of need. I'm going to take it. I'm not sure exactly how we're going to fit it into the plan, but I think I know that we want it. Gutter Snipe. That's interesting. Instant or sorcery, you say? Probably not quite enough, but that's kind of interesting. I think we just want this reef here, though, to make sure we can cast our stuff. Wow. Tolarian Academy. Well, we can officially make infinite mana. That's a really nice pickup. Kira's follower untaps it, so does Ral Zarek, and just allows us to generate copious amounts of mana. I guess Exarch's out. Don't think we have any white cards here, so retreat can go. Tundra. Well, we don't have any. Wow, that reef was actually quite important, it looks like. As it's our only mana fixing currently? Yikes. Alright, here's Palancron, which we can also use to make ridiculous amounts of mana. If we combine it up with Tolarian Academy and a bunch of artifacts. I don't know how good it is here, though. Guess I'll take it. If anything, we'll just use it as a backup plan. Stomping Ground. Yeah, Stomping Ground's a card I actually need. I don't think this is a smokestack deck. I could be wrong. Fire Ice. Well, let's take a Thragtusk. I don't know if these just random value creature, are good additions to a deck like this. They may just slow it down a little bit. But I don't think we're going to play Life from the Loam. I do think we're going to play Crucible, though, and try to kind of go off that way. With the Imperial Seal, that maybe gives us a chance to find one half of, if we have the Crucible, we can go get the Strip Mine, etc. All right, we got this Signet back. Pretty happy about it. It also makes black, which helps us with the seal. Orzhov 1 does too, but only makes... we don't actually have another color. What I mean is we're not playing white. We are playing red, though. One could be pretty good. All right, let's build this bad beast. I have no idea how to build this. So this is actually pretty close to a list right here. This gives us Reef, Stomping Ground, Strip Mine, Academy, Wasteland, and an Emerald, which seems good. And it also leaves us with, let's see, 3 Signets. I think we can actually just play 16 lands in a deck like this. We've got triple Signet, Lion's Eye Diamond, Black Lotus, Lotus Bloom, plus for free, plus the 3 Signets as well. So yeah, I'm just gonna run it. So let's get these lands in here. I am gonna run this random Thragtusk just for value. I have no idea if that's good or not, but I'm gonna do it. 3, 2, 1 green. We only need this and this, right? There's no other green. And right now we have just a Stomping Ground. No, I've got an Arid Mesa as well. So let's get Arid Mesa in there because that can get the Stomping Ground or a Mountain, which we are going to want to have in the deck. At least one. This actually looks pretty decent. Let's see what this do. All right, so for blue, we should be fine here. This is awkward. All right, so this leaves us with 15 lands a mox, so that's effectively 16 lands. Let's see here. So red, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which seems fine. We've only got 3 red cards, and actually 6, 7. So sort of 7-ish, and then there's also I'm not counting them, but there's also like the Gilded Lotus, which just fixes all of our mana. The Black Lotus, which can fix our mana, or at least help. Right, and then blue, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7. That should be just enough. Maybe 8 would be better. And then green, we've got 1, 2, 3. Seems about right as well. Wish I could get one more blue in here. I suppose I don't need to worry about it too much with all of this fixing. We've also got Crucible, which can grab a couple of our fetch lands for rebuys, which is kind of nice too. All right, I'm in. Let's do it.
Do you love to play Magic Online but have a tight budget? Check out MTGO Academy's Academy Budget Bot in the Magic Online Classifieds. All cards in stock are cheaper than one event ticket.
All right, here we are in the first round. And this looks appropriately ridiculous, I guess. I'm going to keep it. We get turn 2 Trinket Mage for Lotus, I guess. Or turn 2 Basalt Monolith. Like, we can do so much. Little Landlight for Time Spiral to be ridiculous, but the idea here is to completely dump our hand and then Time Spiral to reload. And the idea being that if we've cast Trinket Mage, Basalt Monolith, Gilded Lotus, Mox Emerald, 2 islands, and maybe another land, that we'll be down to 1 or 2 cards left when we Time Spiral, and then all of a sudden, bang, we've got 7 more and a bunch of mana sitting on the table, where our opponent hopefully will have, 1 or 2 cards, have 5 or 6 cards left in their hand when we do it. All right. Well, this will put a bit of a crimp in that plan if our opponent is able to just sort of like power out a bunch of stuff off of an elf. But yeah, we'll see. Wow, how good do we run? Let's just get that bad boy suspended right now. Jeez, that's a pretty nice draw step. This is the absolute best time to cast that card is right now, as it turns out. So I'm in. I like it. It also means we can probably wait. Wow. Kind of expect this to get countered. And if it does, I'm okay with it. All right, it's not going to get countered. That's interesting. So we can get Lotus Bloom, Lion's Eye Diamond, Black Lotus. As we've already got the key and the Mox. Think of this, it's just a Black Lotus is the plan. I mean, Lotus Bloom is just worse, right? So let's get Black Lotus. And I'm just going to ship the turn back here. I don't think there's any great reason to fire it off here. Like, casting it doesn't really do much for us. As having it on the battlefield, it's easy to get there, so that doesn't do much. And if we happen to get going for our big storm turn, we want to have it for Empty the Warrens, where we cast it that turn. All right, opponent's doing pretty well here, though. Generating a lot of mana. Oh, just made a beast. That's a little better for us. There's empty. Wow, well, how much can we do just right now? I have no idea. All right, so I cast Black Lotus. I've got 6 mana available. I sack it for red. I use 5 of it for Black Lotus or for Gilded Lotus. I have 1 red floating. I tap Gilded Lotus for Basalt Monolith. Still with 1 red floating. I tap Basalt Monolith for Voltaic Key. I have 2 colorless and a red floating. I use 1 colorless to tap the Voltaic Key, which leaves me with 1 colorless and 1 red to untap the Monolith. I tap the Monolith, which leaves me with 5, including 1 red, and then I cast Empty the Warrens. So if I do it that way, I will play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spells this turn for a total of 10 little goblins. If I don't do it that way, then I basically play Basalt Monolith, do the key, and probably just pass. I probably just play Basalt Monolith and pass. And then in 2 turns, when Vision comes off of Suspend, then I draw the cards off of that, and then I use that turn to go off. I think just making 10 Empty the Warren Goblins tokens here seems pretty sweet, though. And I still have Time Spiral kind of floating, though. 3, 4. Actually, I'll even have the mana for it. So let's do it. Hopefully my math was right. I guess I can untap either of these. Okay. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. All right. And then our backup plan, in case this doesn't flesh out all the way, which I think it will. We just attack with everything, attack with everything, attack with everything until he's dead. But if it doesn't flesh out that way, like let's say he just goes Deranged Hermit here or something and kind of ruins that plan for us, then we've got Time Spiral plus Ancestral Vision kind of on the way. Wow. And Palinchron. So let's see here. I do Voltaic Key on the Monolith. So that taps those 2, but leaves me with 3, 6, 7, 8 mana. Or I can wait a turn and have even more, which I think I should do. Three. This is 5. The other thing I can do is just play Palinchron here, because basically Gilded Lotus plus Key is 5, right? So tap it for 3, use 1 of them down to 2, untap it 3 more, so that's 5, 6, 7, 8 mana that I can play with Palinchron. And if I do play it this way, then I think I get to untap my Basalt Monolith as well. So I think I want to do that. So let's attack here. We lose a Trinket Mage and a Goblin and probably another Goblin. And we hit for 8. But Palinchron actually does damage. It's like actually a pretty nice little flyer when you look at it. Not really its primary role, but it does do work. Okay, you're down to 11. We've got 8, so we can hit for 6, which puts you to 5. Yeah, I think we can just barely get there, especially with Palancron. So, blue, untap you. 5, 6, 7. Palancron. Untap these. Say okay, and then I've got enough mana to put into Basalt Monolith. Now what I can't do is return Palancron to my hand right now. So if my opponent has some, steal your guy effect or whatever, then I could have a little bit more pressure on this Ancestral Vision than I know, but I'd rather just pressure him. Next turn, we get Ancestral Vision plus Time Spiral and all of our mana available, regardless of what our opponent does. I mean, unless it's something insane like, I don't know. Maybe like Upheaval would be pretty bad for us, though I don't think it would be very good for our opponent either, because of our ability to kind of destructively add back to the board. He's going to make another beast and then play a Metamorph on Palancron. I do wish I could return it to my hand now. All right, doesn't have anything else though. Okay, so Ancestral Vision. You are mine. Also, should mention this is a Swiss draft. I've been playing almost all single limbs, and I thought, when I do the video, I think I'd rather do a Swiss. Kind of want to, be able to stretch my legs a little and see where we can get. All right, well, there's Imperial Seal, but it's not going to do a ton here. No, this is going to be a Time Spiral situation. Wow, that just insta-resolved. Okay. Unfortunately, we did not draw into our, what's it called? We actually just drew into nothing here, which is a little depressing, but what I was hoping to draw into was our Empty the Warrens again. And look what we could do. We could do like Crucible Worlds, Black Lotus, Lion's Eye Diamond, Empty, and just... But we needed something to kind of keep things moving forward, and unfortunately we didn't find it. That's a little bit of a bummer. The good news is we can start strip mining. Attack. So if I attack here, then I'm attacking with 8 of these into 3 of these, so he's taking 5 and I'm losing these. Actually doesn't seem that good, does it? And we get to let him untap with 7 cards. This is a potentially backfire scenario here we find ourselves in. So let's play Crucible. And just ship the turn back. So the downside being here that since we've bricked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lands or whatever, and then 2 mana sources, our time spiral was basically just miserable. And we've now reloaded our opponent's hand. So, we could have just bought him the time he needed to get out of this mess. And we don't really have anything else going on. So this is pretty bad for us. The good thing the only thing we do have is Strip Mine Crucible, but it's a little late for that. It's kind of hard to, we basically can just keep him at mana parity because he's unlikely to miss land drops from here on out. Or we can color screw him, like we can just keep hitting his islands until he doesn't have anything anymore. And that's not bad, but it's not exactly going to win us the game either. Kind of cool too. He actually can return Palancron to his hand and then replay it as something else if something else better comes along. Though right now it doesn't look like that's the case. Yeah, I hit another island anyway. That is not a great play. Why is he doing that? Oh, he just doesn't know about that. That's why he ran out the guy earlier. I had 3 mana, but not 4. I just figured he would have counted that. Well, that could be a huge turn for us, as I don't think he's going to get to do anything this time. And we're going to start stripping away his islands. Like I said, unfortunately, he's likely to be able to just sort of keep playing them, but yeah, that had to work out pretty well for us. Ooh, a little attacky attack, huh? All right, we'll battle with my guys. Trinket Mage, and all of our targets are already found. Ugh, these draws. They have not been pretty. Alright, well, let's start hammering on these islands and hope we can kind of get them. I guess I should have played Palancron there. Probably. Oh, we have Lotus Bloom. We'll suspend that. And I can if I just play my Black Lotus, which I suppose I should do here. Getting both of these creatures down is probably worth it. Yeah, I'm going to cast this thing. I just realized I should have left 1 blue up so that I could bounce Palancron, but I may just have to do it off of this. We're not pitching anything we care about anyway. All right. Battle mode. He takes 5 here, goes down to 6, and it basically means that he can't attack us anymore unless he has a pretty good backup plan. Because we have a couple different lethals. But if he leaves everything up, then he can block here, 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 and go to 4, which is, he's fine with that. And And we're going to hopefully strip him off of blue. Our ideal situation is he doesn't hit islands and we just whittle those down and maybe take him off of entire cards like, like opposition or cryptic command or some just kind of big winner. Because, I mean, he's got, 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. He's got lethal here if he had cryptic. If he had cryptic mana. So that kind of card is our number one priority. And if we get incredibly lucky and he just doesn't have lands, then we can actually just start whittling away at his life or his land total and grind him down. But that's pretty unlucky considering that we reloaded his hand. He's got 7 cards, so he's likely to hit his land drops for a while. Probably the rest of the game-ish. But instead, like I said, if we can just keep hammering, if we get lucky and he misses a drop or doesn't have more islands, then we can kind of get him. Courser, sure. And he's going off. So now he's going to make... he's going to hit a land drop for every turn forever now, for sure. Yeah, we are just in a bad spot now. Don't actually know how this ends. Remember, this is exiled, so we don't have that. There are time twisters and such that we can use to find to kind of reload our stuff. If that happens, then we actually want, Lion's Eye Diamond and Black Lotus in the yard because they'll get shuffled back in. Goif. All right. But he did play a forest, so that means that we are going to take an island away from him here, which is great. That's really kind of my main concern, to be honest, is stripping away those islands. So hopefully we draw a Time Twister or what's it called? Memory Jar. Oh, he's going to get aggressive. Kind of like this, actually, from him. Okay, we'll block that thing. Take 10. Oh, brutal. Yeah, we're dead then. Time Walk's a good one. I think we might win that game if it goes long, but if he gets to take back-to-back turns, then we just die. All right, well, that sucked. That Time Spiral draw from us was beyond miserable, no doubt about that. Dumb Time Walk. Yeah, we just lose. But I mean, we still have 3 lands in hand from that Time Spiral. So, yeah. Not a ton I can do about that part. Okay. Let us try again. What can we do? Don't think we have anything we want to change here. No. Just run it back. All right. Absolutely going to play first. I think this is a mulligan. I mean, we can mana leak something, but then we kind of don't do anything. Yep, this one looks better. The Wasteland I don't think is going to do too much. Well, besides just be a land, but I don't think that Crucible Wasteland is going to destroy him or anything. If we draw a Strip Mine in there somewhere, then I do like where we're at with it, but... Or a fetch land. I'm just going to say go here. Getting Crucible down doesn't really do anything at this stage anyway. He's just going to walk for value. All right. I accept. So we want to draw a Strip Mine. Signet, not the right Signet. Goif. Okay. Ooh. That's pretty good. Makes it a 2-3, but we can still Ralzeric it. And more importantly, we get our Crucible starts at least thinning out a couple of, making sure that we hit our mana or whatever. Let's see what we're doing here. All right, let's play Mox Emerald. Shouldn't matter. I just want to be careful here. Ralzeric. Bolt this guy. Okay. We don't have any of our big mana producers for Ral to just completely go nuts with. That would be perfect, but hopefully we draw one. Wow, he's just going to do nothing. Hey, there's something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then that's the 7th mana, but we can't actually cast it right now, which is a little annoying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, we can. What am I talking about? Ralzeric. Yeah, I like that. I'm trying to decide if I just want to leave up the bounce ability on my Palancron or if I want to play Crucible and get an Arid Mesa back in play. This is actually a tough decision because getting the Arid Mesa back means that I have more mana next turn for Memory Jar. For Memory Jar. But this allows him to potentially copy or steal my Palancron, which could matter, but probably won't. Yeah, I'm just going to... I'm going to set up for next turn and just assume that he doesn't have it. If he copies it, I don't think that's that big of a deal. I think I just play my Swamp from hand here. So I think I'm just going to jar next turn, actually. Right? That makes more sense. Yeah, I just get infinite mana next turn with which to jar. Hopefully we jar into a bunch of sweet stuff. The idea with jar, of course, being that we crack it on our turn so that we have all of this mana and we can play, of course, sorcery speed things, anything, planeswalkers and artifacts or whatever, while our opponent also gets to look at 7 fresh cards but doesn't get to play lands, doesn't get to do anything, along the lines of what we're doing. Your Yavimaya Elder resolves. Okay, there's a reef. I think I may as well just play it. So let's crack jar. So this is effectively drawing us 7 cards. And that is quite beautiful, actually. So we get to play a bunch of these. So, how do we do this? We could just have faith in our deck. Wow, that is actually just a savage 7 that we drew here. Kura's Follower untaps Gilded Lotus. Frantic, we can Imperial Seal something to the top like empty. And then we can Frantic Search to draw it. And then we can play like Kura's Follower, Signet, Gilded Lotus, empty, and just have a billion things. Or we can play most stuff out and then Time Twister and hope to just hit it and hope to hit like Black Lotus, that kind of thing. All right, well, I think we should probably just play it safe. So if I go Imperial Seal, put it on top. Frantic Search is free, so that draws it for us. We discard an island and something else. And then, then we just go like Gilded Lotus, Signet, and then I think we can even value Follower and make that work too. So let's do this. Is there anything else that we want? Dak Faden. He is the greatest, but he doesn't do much here. I think we just want empty. So, Frantic Search. We drew Lion's Eye Diamond as well. And then I think we're going to discard Time Twister and Island. Because I think we can just play the rest of these. Storm count is 2. That's 5 for Gilded Lotus. We play it. Oops. Storm count's 5. Yeah, I think we've got plenty here. We do this. Yep. Take 4. Okay, we're still empty-handed. All right. It looked easy that time. What can we do here? Do we see anything new? No, just Yavimaya Elder, so same difference. Let's run it back. This deck is. There's so many better ways to win in the cube than what we're doing with empty, but I mean, it's fine. We just made whatever 16 tokens in one turn. It still goes. It's just one of those things where, like, if we had Time Vault in this deck or Tinker or something, it just gets dumb. Like, it's just stupid. It's so easy to win. You don't really need anything. All right, what do we got? Jar, Mesa, Signet, Academy, Trinket Mage. Sure. Not the best, but I think we can make this thing kind of hum along here. Trinket Mage can go get something sweet, and then eventually we can Academy. I think we'll tap for 2 or 3. Signet's making that even better. Before we draw the Stomping Grounds. Signet. Whoa, 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 whoa. Looks like our opponent just passed the turn back. He almost tricked me. Wow. So if I do this, I can play a Signet, play Tolarian Academy for Trinket Mage and a Signet? Maybe I'm wrong about that. Oh, I see what I can do. I can just play a Signet and then just play Trinket Mage. So apparently our opponent is stuck. So I guess we get Black Lotus here. Key isn't doing anything insane, and Black Lotus just gives us the most potential with these cards. All right, land 3 has arrived. Witness for no value. Can't be a good thing for our opponent. All right, so he's missing a bunch of colors. If we Time Spiral, we basically give him access to those colors. If we Memory Jar, then we can still keep Time Spiral for later. So we want to be Memory Jarring here. Whatever. And then just ship it back, I guess. We can generate tons of mana. Looks like he's found his way out too here. He's up to 4 lands now, though no blue mana sources, which of course is quite good for us. Hopefully we can just go off. Beast within the jar. So if I crack the jar now, I draw a bunch, but I can't really do much anyway. And I'd probably give him... oh, he already played a forest. I'd rather just have the beast. All right, I got to watch my clock. I just realized I'm down to 4:55. So we are now going into battle mode. Mana leak. that's interesting. Let's attack. Take 5. Guess I can just mana leak basically anything here. I think I'll just do that. I mean, we clearly win the race on board. I think I can just take a turn to mana leak, and then I'll time spiral next turn. Play Black Lotus, time spiral. Make 1 billion mana. So unless this is Thrawn, I get to mana leak it. It's natural order. I'll mana leak that. That was pretty clutch. I'm pretty sure he's going to go get something disgusting. Ral Zarek. The Ral Dad. Yeah, I want him. Don't be annoying. Don't want to lose to clock, but I also want to make sure I do this at least somewhat correctly. Okay. Did a bunch of stuff. Suspend this. Cast this. Play a land. Cast this. I don't know if I just bolt him here. Yeah, I'm just going to bolt him. Go ahead. And another fairly miserable time spiral, but I was hoping to hit a strip mine there and just take him back down to 3, because I just don't think there's much he can do if all he does is untap it with 3 forests there. Any land doesn't really get it done. So, all right. Well, we got there one way or another. Let's see how this thing does in the next round. It's a little sketchy, but it's pretty powerful.
If you'd like to exchange your Magic Online cards for event tickets while logged in on Magic Online, you can do so by trading MTGO Academy's official bot, Academy Buy Bot. You can find it in the Magic Online trading area or add it to your buddy list.
All right, round 2. Do we have a keeper here? God, it's close. Lotus Bloom goes into suspend. We play Wasteland. We're on the draw. If we draw an island, we play Orzhov Signet on 2, and then we get to play Basalt Monolith, Time Twister. We get to kind of go off, and we even get access to Imperial Seal. So all we really need is a land. I'll keep it. It's a bit of a gamble, but it seems pretty great. And we're getting Lotus Bloom on 0 either way. Oh. Well, I guess I hope this is Goblin Guide. No, it's Rift Bolt. Just get this thing suspended up. And we'll cast this Voltaic. Well, we didn't draw the land, so we're up against it, as we're going to get burned out pretty quickly here. This dumb mono red deck. Okay, it doesn't have anything there. Do we draw a land, though? No. No, that's a bad draw. All right, your move. He's gonna did something. Searing Spear. Ooh, draws the nuts. Yeah, well. Let's get this Signet going. I mean, I would prefer to get Ancestral Vision out of my hand, but that is not how this is going to work. Yeah. It's so lame. It doesn't do anything. That's why I don't like the deck, just because it doesn't do anything. Also because I constantly lose to it, but there is reasoning behind it. Alright, so now we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana available. How the hell are we going to race this stupid deck? May need to have a little faith here and just go with with Basalt Monolith. I probably can't afford to pay the 2 life on Imperial Seal, so probably just Basalt Monolith, Time Twister, and then just hope to hit a bunch of really good stuff. I mean, I don't want to Time Twist my opponent into three or four more cards because we're essentially dead, but right now we have no win condition in sight. If we just keep passing, they're going to see those cards anyway. And then I can use this for that. Actually makes sense. Monolith, which I can untap once to get more mana. Yeah. No, I still did this wrong. Because I'm going to need red mana, so this kind of forces me to hit something like Black Lotus, where if I would have tapped this Wasteland, I guess I needed to tap anyway. All right, well, right now I don't need to tap anything. So let's... Twister. Mm-hmm. God, we hit nothing? Well, I guess we hit Memory Jar. I shouldn't say that. But still, we can't... It's hard to imagine going too many places from here, but let's try it. Yep, we bricked. Yeah, we needed to hit like Empty the Warrens plus Black Lotus, something like that. And we just bricked. So these all go away, and we have that terrible hand of all lands, and we lose. Mm-hmm. Frantic Search. I have seen worse than that. Time Spiral. I should have used the Academy first. Loose. Yeah, now I'm just playing super loose. Should have tapped those 2 lands as well. I don't think I'm going to be punished for it, but I might. So I don't have green mana here. Okay, well, I've got Black Lotus, so I can make green mana. But I think I should Frantic Search here. And try to keep digging. Not finding anything. I guess I just make a Thrag Tusk, which is pretty good, to be fair. Guess when you have Tolarian Academy with 1 billion, mana going, you can afford to not maximize on 2 lands there or whatever, or not play the Tolarian Academy first. But still, I prefer not to find out. Seething Song, sure. Mm-hmm. Yep. Where is my Palancron? Yeah, I'm just dead. God, he had Fire Blast. Okay. Yeah, so this isn't going to work out great for us. I definitely want this guy. Let's see here. Exarch. Nether Void. It's probably not great. Masticore is probably not great either. None of this stuff is going to be really good against him. The problem is we just can't close the game out in a quick fashion. We can probably go off and be inevitable enough, but I want to slam the door, and that's quite difficult for us. I think our best chance is just to play an early Thrag Tusk and beat down with it. Let's see, what did I put in? This guy. Let's get Wasteland out of there. And add, got enough of that. Probably another green just in case we need to cast Tusk Dad. But I still need to cut 1 card here. Still think, I know it's lame, but I still think like an early Crucible Strip Mine lock is one of the only ways we can get him. So many of these cards are terrible against him. Probably Imperial Seal can go. There's the Crucible. Yeah, this looks like a keep. Get Lotus Bloom out. Do this thing, and then make a Signet. He suspended that thing again. Ooh. Bingo. Is this good? Hopefully. His deck can certainly operate on less, but man, one stumble or one kind of wrong hand, and we can actually force this game to go long, which is, of course, exactly what we want. We get Lotus Bloom here. And Spellskite. Oh, nice. I guess 2 life is less than 3. I did that math myself. Let's see here. 3, 4. Yeah, so we got to wait on Jar. And ship. And then I think we just hope we draw our Thragtusk and can beat down with it. Oh, sweet. He is going to miss his land drop. And he knew we were just going to strip mine Crucible, lock him out. That was a great top deck we had there. I mean, look, we decided to keep it in. I said I wanted it for that reason, and hitting it was just huge. Wow. Oops, I left this swamp in. Oh, we don't need that. Do we want Greater Gargadon? I wonder if Greater Gargadon is something we want here. Like, it gives us a way to actually just win the game in a position where we might not normally be able to. I think I'm going to play the Gargdad. Our deck is so good at just getting tons and tons of permanents down. I think I'm going to kill Palancron and play the Gargfather. All right. We are not dead yet. Though with this hand we would be, so we're going to mulligan it. And we're going to keep this one. Not a great hand. It's definitely getting better, though. Turn to Ralzeric, which will probably eat a couple of lightning bolts. So this hand sort of hit a dead end, but it was an incredibly good start, and if we can draw one of our draw 7s, then we are in total business here. So this is going to hit Ral. Drop him down to 3. We can bolt the Phoenix. Ugh, just hit nothing. All right. Got to bolt the Phoenix. Yeah, hope to draw a little better than that. So this will likely be Ral eating some type of burn spell. There you go. Chandra Pyromaster gets to kill him. So there goes a big chunk of our mana, but we're still doing great on mana. Ugh. Worst. Oop. Just terrible draws. We need something that draws us a bunch of cards at once. Hitting a time spiral here would be great. Chandra and her annoying Phoenix. Memory jar. What can I even draw? I don't actually know. I'm tempted to just go for it, though. If I wait a turn, I'm taking at least 8, putting me to 6, and I could just be dead. If I crack it here, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 6 mana to work with. Yeah, I think I better do that. I don't want to drop down to dead range. Okay, what do we got? Well, not a lot. I can play Trinket Mage to go get Lotus. I can do a bunch of stuff, and none of it actually does anything. Kind of the theme of this deck, I suppose. So I guess I'll probably just mana leak something. It's a little bit awkward. I actually kind of want to get this Cura's Follower down. So I guess I need to cast this stupid thing and use it for mana leak. Because I really do need to get some type of board presence going here to pressure Chandra. I mean, I'm going to die anyway. Like, I'm being realistic, but... Right, and I don't get to keep it anyway. All right, well, I forgot about that somehow. Apparently, it's getting a little bit late. Also, I'm very dead. So I could have played Lion's Eye Diamond and Signet or Key. Yeah, like I said, I think we just kind of brick there. I mean, even if I mana leak something here, it's like, whatever. Doesn't really do anything anyway. We take 7 in the air and he just kills us. Like, I can't mana leak that. So, yeah, I don't think we're going to get punished for forgetting about Jar, but either way. Crucible of Worlds. All right, we're done here. All right, well, like I said, we're playing Swiss, so we get to see if this thing can pull out a 2-1. We'll see.